How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. It helps out, means a ton. You guys get plenty of fun stuff. And yes, we finally got Chapter 8 of Choujin X. It's kind of funky not being on a normal schedule, but it's also kind of nice when you don't know there's a chapter coming out and all of a sudden it just randomly drops while you're at work and you weren't expecting it. I don't know. I kind of enjoy it. It's a nice little surprise. So yeah, Chapter 8. This is a nice, chill chapter. Everything's calming down now that Tokyo has gone over to Yamato Mori, but they're covering up by saying he was a key witness for a special agent or whatever. So this was news to him when his mom brought it up, but then by the time he gets to school, he's all good to go with the excuse and everything. And eventually we end up with him and Azuma on the roof talking to each other. And we learn Azuma actually knows about Yamato Mori from TV and radio and knows about them. And then Azuma finally tries to apologize to Tokyo. He says, "I'm sorry, I yelled at you. I didn't try to help you when you needed it. I'm sorry." Tokyo tells me, goes, "No, it's okay. You were kind of right. I do always lean on you. But it's okay, there were plenty of people to help me." And Azuma just says okay to this. And if you go back and look at that panel of Azuma saying okay, I don't know, something just seems off about that panel, at least off with Azuma about that panel. Just the way he was drawn with the glasses all whited out and him being shaded the way he was. I don't know, it feels off. I don't know, maybe I'm reading into the chapter too much. I would say it is at least safe to say that Azuma does kind of have a mix of emotions. Obviously, he feels bad and he's sad and sorry. Obviously, he's happy that his friend is okay. There might even be a little bit there of Azuma kind of missing being the protective one. Sometimes knowing somebody needs your help can be a good feeling. Everybody wants to feel needed, and it's kind of nice to just kind of have that upper spot. You get kind of used to it. So to see the fact that Tokyo was able to be okay on his own and handle things on his own to the point where he's fine without Azuma's help, I wouldn't say it would anger Azuma at all, but there could be some strange, funky emotions going on with that. Just saying, it is possible. But anyway, so Tokyo tells him he has to go to Yamato Mori and get a registration for his Choujin powers. So that's where we end up going next. So we get back to Yamato Mori and we run into Simon Kagomura, the sword dude that absolutely wrecked Nari the other chapter, and Momoma. Was it Maiko Momoma? Anyway, the one that Ellie ran off from that Simon was talking about previously. And Ellie Otsuda, the little smoke girl, she's there too. So we learn from Simon that both Ellie and Tokyo are going to be taking a 40-day course to get their registration as a Choujin. Tokyo also finds out that Ellie just became a Choujin not that long ago before she showed up and tried to save him. And he has this reaction like, this girl is ridiculous. Which, on many levels, yes, you are right, Tokyo. Ellie is not normal. I don't really know how to describe Ellie yet. I really don't know. What is the proper adjective to use to describe Ellie as a person? Somebody tell me down in the comments. I have no idea. But anyway, Tokyo ends up asking Simon, though, am I going to be an agent thingy like you guys are after I get my registration? And Simon's just like, do you want to delve into the mind of unhinged psychopaths and murderers? And Tokyo's just like, no, not really. No, I'm good. Like, yeah, no. No, you're going to get a B registration, okay? That's just chill, all right? A's, you get to do messed up stuff and good things for the betterment of society, by which I mean diving into the psychology of a murderous psychopath. Anyway, you guys will get a B, which is basically a civilian registration. You know, you can protect yourself. If you need to help somebody to save a life or something, you can whip your powers out and do that. Or if you get a little worked up and they accidentally come out, you won't suffer consequences for that. Seems kind of strange that an unregistered Choujin, like say somebody just lives on the streets or whatever, doesn't know about Yamato Mori or whatever, or this registration system, and they get a little worked up and their Choujin powers come out and all of a sudden they get arrested for it? Like, wait, what? And what I mean when I say get a little worked up and your powers come out and you're okay is we learned that through your emotions, if you get really mad or really sad or something like this, start feeling really high levels of emotions, your powers can kind of activate on their own. The way this is said by Momoma kind of leads to the idea that even really skilled Choujins that can control their powers extremely well, even if they get extremely mad but aren't trying to use their powers, it can just come out. It's not that you can learn to control that. It's just that you can learn to control your emotions. You can't stop your powers from activating through severe amounts of emotion. For at least from the way it was stated, that's kind of what it feels like. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm taking it the wrong way. We end up mentioning the fact that being a Choujin is kind of an inconvenience. And yeah, through having to go through all of this registration process and the fact that the powers aren't 100% controllable and can kind of happen on their own, depending on your power, that could possibly be a problem. I mean, I'm just saying. Because, well, we'll take an example here in a second. Simon tells Momoma to clear a tree out of the road. Momoma tells Ellie and Tokyo to close her eyes. Tokyo obviously doesn't. I wouldn't either. I'd want to see, like, okay, wait a minute, how is she going to move the tree? Turns out it's just super strength. So, great, cool, awesome. But, let's take that example. You are really, really, really mad. Say you and your significant other just broke up, and your super strength Choujin power activates when you slam the door in their face. You're not trying to send the door flying through its hinges into them at Mach 1, but you are suffering from a lot of emotion at the moment, and your superpower activates. And super strength does what super strength does and sends the door into your loved one at Mach 1. That seems like a pretty big inconvenience to me. That's a pretty drastic example, but improbable and impossible are two completely different things. So yeah, no slamming doors if you're an angry Choujin. Something you just gotta work on. Anyway, after this, we get to go to our interview, well, Tokyo and Ellie's interview with Sandak, the big old chin dude. And he asked them 4 questions. What is good? What is evil? Who are your enemies? And how do you hope to benefit from your life? Tokyo responds to the what is good with helping others who are in trouble. Ellie responds with to live comfortably. For what is evil, Tokyo responds with making trouble for others. For Ellie, she responds with murder. Yes, murder is definitely evil. We'll take it. That is definitely a correct answer. For enemies, Tokyo thinks about Nari, the snake girl, but he isn't entirely sure about her being an enemy, and he says, I'm not sure. Ellie says the first person to come to mind is the smoke man. Makes sense. Tokyo actually has a strange thought in his mind of the smoke man. Tokyo, you should probably in your head at this point be like, oh, it was probably a Choujin with smoke powers. Kind of like, oh yeah, Ellie has smoke powers. Okay, yeah, that makes sense then. All right. For the how do you hope to benefit, Tokyo's first thought is about money. It is a very beneficial thing to have money. It makes things a lot easier. Ellie comes right out and says it. Money. She says, most of my dreams would be taken care of if I had money. I would be able to live a much more comfortable, easier life. I also forgot, he asked another question. Who are their allies? And Tokyo was like, my childhood friend. Ellie said her grandpappy and farm friends. So, yeah, anyway, moving back on to the benefit thing, the more important part. Ellie's talking about money and assuming, yeah, things would be easier for her grandpappy, for her farm friends. They would have money. They wouldn't have to worry about being able to afford groceries or bills or all of this. Maybe her grandpappy's sick. He needs medicine that's very expensive. That would make things easier. Maybe he needs medicine he can't afford, and if he could afford it, he would be better, and him and Ellie could have more fun together. It would make things more comfortable and more fun. So I completely understand where Ellie is coming from with this whole money being what I hope to benefit from, my dream, getting money. That is perfectly understandable in an economically ran world like the one that we live in. So yeah, I completely understand that. And I actually understand Tokyo too, not really being sure what his dream is. He thinks about it for a little bit. Is it to help Asuma? Is it to benefit Asuma? Well, no, that would be in Asuma's benefit. What is my dream? Is it to help people? I mean, all of these things sound super, but wait. And he can't think of it. He can't think of a dream. He doesn't have this image of a perfect dream life set out. He doesn't have a dream job. He doesn't have a dream goal. I understand this because when I was younger in school, whatnot, I didn't really have a dream job that I really wanted to strive for that specific job. I didn't really have a dream school. I didn't have a picture of this exact perfect dream life that I exactly wanted. I kind of understand that. To me, it was more of something that came together over time. So I understand where Tokyo is coming from with this. And I think this is another aspect that will be very nice to see about Tokyo as we go on with this series. We're going to see him grow not only as a person, but with his Choujin powers. Maybe we will see a dream develop over time, see him start to think about himself more. All of these things are going to be really, really great for Tokyo. Honestly, he's set up to have more character development and a bigger character arc in this series than a lot of main protagonists do. I mean, this kid from beginning to series to end of series is going to be 100% a completely different person. So Ellie goes all the way out to the bus stop to talk to him more and more about his dreams, and we still get more of the same stuff. Tokyo does not know what his dream is. He doesn't have a specific dream. He even asks his sister the next day, like, hey, sister, you have a dream? And she just dreams of marrying into money. So yeah, she's kind of on the same wavelength as Ellie there. So not really a whole lot of help to Tokyo. We also see the news that there was an animal outbreak at the zoo, and Choujins are helping out. I'm pretty sure Sandak was the one we saw there, floating all the animals in the air. But the lion and vulture are still out there. Obviously, this is supposed to make us think of Tokyo and Azuma. And then we see two new Choujin. The one you probably could have guessed before it was basically revealed to us or confirmed to us is an octopus Choujin. If you couldn't guess that from the tentacle face, we were on two different wavelengths. As soon as I saw that, octopus Choujin. The other one has this weird origami kind of thingy, and I don't know what's going on with that one. Paper Choujin? Art Choujin? I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine on that. But they say they should be able to handle the cleanup from leftover from Nari. So curious to see how that's gonna go. I'm assuming we're going to be attacking Tokyo. I mean, who else are we gonna after? Well, Ellie maybe, but hey, who knows? Anyway, either way, it's gonna be exciting, and I can't wait. The octopus Choujin dude looks awesome. I cannot wait to see what his Morphe Choujin stuff is all about. That's gonna be super cool. And if he fights Tokyo, guess what? Tokyo's really fast and flies as a vulture. Octopus sucker. Tokyo can't get away. So that could cause some problems. Anyway, this was a nice dialogue chapter to kind of move things forward, learn a little bit more about Choujin, learn a lot more about Tokyo himself as a person, get introduced to a couple new characters that we can speculate and have fun with at the very end of the chapter. And yeah, I enjoyed. I thought it was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.